Hey, Ryan.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hey, so this is a video for people who don't know you or do know you to get to know a little bit more about you. And how about sharing a little bit about how you got into the business and what you've done in your career, and also what you're setting out to do as our new Yorba Linda office opens and what you're looking to do with it in the future.
Well, thank you, everyone, for the time, first of all, and just it's exciting. I cannot say enough that I'm just blessed to be in the position that I'm in, and Northeast Orange County. I live here, and been here almost my whole life, and coming from a sales background myself, I think that's important to understand that sometimes in management. I used to say that some of my other managers, they would be up in the skies at 30,000, 40,000 feet, and they forget that, us being here, boots on the ground, so to speak, that's where the magic happens. And that's where we all make money. Without customers, without funding loans, none of this happens. None of the managers get paid. And so that's where I believe that I separate myself. Is I've been in the business for 17 years. I've done loans. I still do loans to this day. And I purposely want to do loans myself. Obviously, I want to hand them out to the team, but I think it's important to be, again, boots on the ground, me out there meeting realtors, firsthand experiencing what's working, what's not, and, learning learning and growing with the team. So, versus being in the office, recruiting and talking to people, which I love doing, but just being out there meeting and greeting and finding out what works and what doesn't, so we can just continue to improve and help everybody make more money, which is why we're all doing this business.
You have a great story about how you got into the business, or maybe when you started working and kind of tipped your toes into the industry at a young age. I think it's a cool thing to share because you've been really around real estate your whole life.
Oh, you did have to bring that story up, huh?
It's a great
No,
story.
I'm glad you did. I'll give a condensed version of it, but I was probably 12 years old, and next to my neighbor who used to open up his window and yell out there in the morning, 6 a.m., "Good morning, all American family," and that was my family. And it's just crazy and funny. And if I look back, and he was just a genuinely nice guy. He was in real estate, and he took me under his wing, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? I want you to follow me, and I'm going to show you how to do it." And we started at 4 a.m. sometimes delivering flyers. I would wash his car for him, but anytime I was doing something, he was always right there teaching me something. He actually wouldn't allow me to drink my soda or eat my bagel unless I would talk to him about sales. True story. Couldn't eat, wouldn't buy me food unless I would talk to him about sales. And in some instances, he would even try to teach me math. Crazy stuff. But it worked. And that led me to sales at Nordstrom. That led me to sales. I actually worked at UPS for a little bit in management, but all those steps led me to here. And he would take me out again and just do things that were unorthodox, but it would make me focus more. There was even one instance where I won't even forget. True story, by the way, no embellishment at all. But I was delivering flyers. We started at 4 a.m., finished up about 6:30. He was telling me to go faster. Wasn't going fast enough, I guess. So I literally would jump. I jumped over this bush. I'll never forget it. And I cleared it, but I felt something in my leg. True, again, no embellishment here. A stick went through my shin.
What?
It was actually sticking out of my shin. Had to pull it out. Blood
Keep
going
going,
everywhere.
obviously, right? You can't stop.
My neighbor's like, "Hey, are you good?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. It doesn't hurt that bad." "Okay, we'll finish up. Keep going." So he made sure I didn't get blood in his car. That was his concern. And by the way, for those of you wondering, he wasn't married, didn't have kids. So you can understand why there wasn't any concern. But what I'm getting at is there was hard work, and there was value in that, and understanding what it took, whether it was delivering flyers, washing a car, getting up early. It was instilled to me in an early age of 12. and it just stuck with me. And that's what I know that other loan officers look for, is just working hard and getting it done.
Yeah. I think something else that's interesting, you were talking with me about this the other day, is you are focused on creating like relationships for your team and the real estate community and the builder community. And as you grow Yorba Linda, you know, obviously people have their own relationships and book of business, and that's important to us, but you also add additional value to them by introducing them to people that you're developing business relationships with for the purpose of getting more loans for them.
Yeah, again, this, I want to make sure everyone knows this is not about me. This is why I took this role, and I've been in this role for a while. It's really about everybody else and just making everybody else better in a team environment. And that's where, you know, I put myself out there. I think it's important that myself, I go out there, like for instance, last week, went out, had coffee and lunch with a few different agents, and I took it upon myself to meet them and rekindle past relationships that I bring to the table. And once I've inked those relationships, or hopefully sign up MSA agreements, which we're allowed to do here at Loan Depot versus some other banks you can't. I think it's important that I bring those in, and then whether it's a loan officer that's already here or someone that's looking to come on, those relationships can be given to those future loan officers, and we can help grow it together. I think it's important that not only the LO bring in the relationship, but myself be a leader.
Totally agree. Yeah, it's added benefit. And I think if I remember correctly, right now there's about, I mean, the office hasn't even opened yet, but it's going to be on Yorba Linda Boulevard in a really cool area that you told me about. And there's about 10 LOs, and probably be funding 20, 25 million by the end of the year. What do you want it to look like? What are you trying to build and attract, and where do you want to see it go in 2022?
Wow, where do I begin? No, it's exciting. I mean, again, it's only been 2 months, just barely 2 months since I've taken over, established a new branch that has yet to even be opened yet. And here we are with 10 loan officers in 60 days and funding, you know, already 10 million and growing each and every month. And by the end of the year, 20 million and more. And so next year, where I look to take this is, you know, and I have great friends that work here with me, and it's just great competition that, you know, I'm going to be giving every one of them a run for the money. And I look to be doing 300 to 400, 500 million next year, because that's where I need to be for myself, but also that's what I know it's going to take for each LO. When you look at, we want to be at 30 LOs by next year, and it's exciting.
So for those of you that know Ryan, maybe you learned a few stories about child labor law things for sure, but also how dedicated he is to not just, you know, what he's doing every day, but also to helping grow you and your business. And he really is one of the most sincere and honest guys out there. And I'm excited to see how this all plays out. And I love working with you. What's the best phone number for you if somebody wants to call and they don't have your number?
Yeah, and thank you for bringing that up. I just want to add one other thing that for everybody out there watching this, I completely get it. I was in your shoes at one point, and of course, watching a video is one thing, but getting to know someone on a personal level, it's really important to understand that it's not just about work. We're a family, and this is a family environment, and it needs to be something that's exciting to do each day you come here, and you learn each day. And again, whether it's business or personal, I'm always open and always willing to talk about it. But the best number to reach me at is 949-338-7624.
Love it. All right, well, we'll do some updated ones of these going forward. So if you've watched this, thank you. You know how to get a hold of Ryan or myself, and look out Northeast Orange County. Ryan's coming with some pretty exciting goals, and we're going to make a mark up there for sure.
Here we come.